to then maximize the impact and also to use it in an ethical way. So that is what you should look at. That on your own you should be able to create some strategy, but those strategies may not be battle tested, may not be really coming from an expert level. It is depending on the limited exposure. So it always kind of try to see if your skill can work with a domain expert. Together it can create a very huge impact. So always kind of look at from that angle. I know in fact people are getting bored or yeah, please.
Whereas we have brought in anything security consent has to be there. So but with the AI we have seen that people AI can create sounds of people, images of people, even people someone like has a good coding knowledge and he can create a software taking with an application, taking the screenshot, retina, everything that person can access from a device. So how can do you have any ideas on how we can identify that this person is genuine and this is not with the help of AI? Because it can be fake, the voice can be fake, biometrics can be from the touch, the retina front camera, everything is being recorded and captured, and everything is surveillance.
Yeah, so there are a lot of people working on this deep fake detection and elimination. So one of the companies that I mostly know out of Pune, they work in this space, and a lot of companies are working in both India and abroad. So I think we'll have to look at. So for example, when it is picture, right, you'll have to really disseminate the picture with. So two, three ways you can do it. One is you should have a known reference database to look at. That is one way. That is, let's say you know how Shashank looks like. So somebody uses my picture on their Aadhaar card, right? Or vice versa, on my Aadhaar card they use their picture, right? And they are trying to do a KYC in a bank, saying that I am Shashank, I am putting their picture, and they are doing the video KYC, right? So this is a classic case of fraud. Somebody can commit to fraud and can get onboarded in a bank like in my name. So firstly, what has to happen? They have to get a hold of my PAN card, right? Or sorry, my Aadhaar card or PAN card, whatever. And then they have to put a photo on this, which is their photo, and on the camera is their photograph. Right? So that is how their reconciliation happens. On the liveness, there is a liveness detection that I am live. I'm either flipping my eyes or doing some hand signal or hand gesture. So it detects that I am currently live. Second, it looks at this photo in this picture and does a match of my biometric with this photo which is here, and it also does a match with the Aadhaar or UIDI ka base 64 XML that comes from the UIDI and extracts a picture from there and does a match. Now this is where, if we actually do it properly, if a three-way match is done, then it will detect that UIDI is sending a different picture, while on the camera it is, let's say, somebody else, right? So because in the UIDI JSON or the data which is coming from the UIDI, there is a different picture or a photograph, while it doesn't match with the live photograph or the person who is in front of the camera. So, but a lot of software are still not doing a three-way match. They are doing a two-way match or something. So that is what I'm saying. So we'll have to one strengthen against a known good database, which in this case is Aadhaar. Right? So good that India has a digital identity database. That is one part. So always I would say implement using that in the mix. So now you can see more use of UIDI APIs and infrastructure being used for this fighting this deepfake detection. But then there are other things like the voice you talked about, audio and all. Now it's very difficult. I mean, so I think we'll have to look at some patterns, like because the way you construct a sentence, the way you break between things, even though you can bring my audio clipping onto and remodulate somebody else's words into my voice modulation, but the pauses that I take, right, sometimes, so you will have to do this voice signature. So you will see a lot of times the voice modulation will there is a certain pause I take after every few things. I may use a word, let's say, basically, or I may use something like, eventually, actually. So there will be some, voice signatures that you can figure out, and you will say that this signature is kind of missing. So I think there are certain sophisticated ways. I mean, sometimes it's not very easy, but a person can be really frauded using this, right? Like a lot of people you have seen, they got a video call or a video message from somebody and they have transferred money basis that request. So yeah, I mean, this is a really serious issue which we have to fight against. So it will have to be at multiple levels, right? The face, the voice. So detection at multiple levels have to be done, and that also has to be triangulated. That okay, the voice is correct, but the face is different, or the face is same, the voice is different, or there is let's say a thumb impression or something else. So we will also have to add more additional factors of authentication to kind of them. So today we are only talking about password and OTP. Like I told you about adding a biometric. Tomorrow you know there will be 5-6 layers of authentication one has to do. Like password and OTP and then face and iris and voice and gestures and whatnot. So I think it will get very, very complicated down the line. But sometimes what will happen is it may do a lot of things, but you will not know. I mean, you are bringing your face, but through your face you are actually doing multiple factors of authentication and validation.
That was not